Hey everyone, welcome back to Farming Simulator 22. We are back in East Vineland on Kubota Farm. And just to get you started with where we are at or up to date with where we're at, I am tackling this baling contract. Yes, another baling contract. I apologize for that, but it's work and it's money. 15 grand, 16 grand. And in this situation, we are using our own fleet, and I mean fleet. But I have a little surprise for you. Our buddy Fred dropped off this little guy, this little M5-111. We haven't had one of these on the farm yet. Kind of a curious little thing. 106 horsepower, it's customized as. Um, at first I didn't bring any on the farm or ask for any on the farm, mostly because I didn't think we would really get a lot of, use. I was just looking at that warning to avoid personal injury or death. That's always a good thing to avoid. I didn't think we'd get a lot of use out of a little guy like this, but that tether is going to work properly with that thing, and we'll find some other uses for it around the farm. Otherwise, we have our standard Kubota lineup. I did add this trailer to our equipment. I purchased that. Fred didn't want to give that up for free. And that is to tow this thing around because honestly, at 11 miles an hour, it wasn't going to happen. If I got to tow this thing to the other end of the map, 11 miles an hour is a tough trip. So I grabbed this trailer. It seems to fit pretty well on there. It was pretty cheap. Um, the pickup won't tow that trailer, on that hitch. So I don't know if I need to just look maybe for a different hitch. Man, I've already got this thing dirty and they just repainted it. Holy cow, they just repainted it and look at it. No, that can't be. Giants, what are you doing to me? Oh, man. I swear I've used this maybe. Well, if we drive it back to the farm. Unbelievable. It's got a regular trailer hitch on there, but it's not hooking up to that trailer. So maybe I'll look at different hitches. If this thing can do different hitches, I have no idea. We'll take a peek at that. But I have some Vermeer equipment. We need a baler, and we need a windrower. But let's get to cutting, and I will catch you up to speed on what else is happening in my lovely life. So let's unfold. Do you ever have those special moments where technology is working really well for you and you're just happy and things are going so well and you just want things to stay that way? And then they either completely blow up on you for no reason, or you do something and blow them up. Well, oh, no. Well, in this situation, I'm kind of certain that I did something, but at the same time, I don't know what it is. But things are weird on my computer. I had a love-hate relationship with Microsoft this weekend. More hate than love. I'm thinking about how we're going to do this field here real quick. So we have to TED it, so I'm not worried about creating swaths. Oh, it's just about a square field too, isn't it? I'm not worried about creating swaths necessarily. Swath dropping, in fact, we don't really want swath dropping. So we'll just do widespread and we'll just get this bad boy mowed up. I think I have the mowing mod too. I'm going to have to be careful so I don't mow these bushes down, because I think, can you enable and disable that mow? Lower mower, turn on crop sensor, reel mower, turn off. Yeah, we better do that. Okay, good. Kind of glad I remembered to do that, because those bushes were not long for this world. So I feel like I'm teetering on the edge of, very much teetering on the edge right now of total technology meltdown. And if for some reason, if for some reason you don't see a video, one day on the channel, well, I'm allowed to post. Let's see. I am now allowed to post posts or put out in posts. I don't know what they're calling them. Basically, letting subscribers know what's going on with the channel, right? So I'll post something if I have a complete technology failure on my end. I will at least post a something on the channel so you know what's going on and that I haven't just disappeared. I'm just having some really weird happenings. OneDrive is an absolute disaster. If you're using it and it's working well, Godspeed. If you are thinking about using it, don't. If you are using it and you're going to reload your computer, turn off all the syncing first and make sure all those files are local. Trust me, bad things will happen if you don't. Things will become very much more difficult. I have a really hard time syncing these. I wish, oh, that would be amazing to have like a macro set up to where you can just hit one button and the front and back lower. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I don't think you can do that. I got to get my side panel working again too. That's something else. I just have to get that going. It's silly not to have this side panel sitting here and not using it. That is for sure. So yeah, technology has not been my friend. I spent the better part of this morning. Thankfully, we rolled back time. So that gave me an extra hour today to fix stuff. I think I finally have it working the way I want to. OneDrive is completely dismantled and no longer able to do any nonsense on my computer. But I still have a couple oddities, and I'm working through those. I think what I'm going to have to do is I think I'm going to have to do the old official, as we used to call it in the biz, nuke and pave type of an install at some point. And really install Windows the way old school style, which is, you know, the old format C:, and go to town. I actually don't even do format C: anymore. I just delete the partitions and just start from scratch, but so what's up with Farming Simulator? Well, mods this week, right? I don't think there were any mods Friday from what I can gather, but I don't trust anything that I'm seeing right now on my computer because of the way things are functioning. But I don't think we had any mods Friday. I did see that, was it Hoff Bergman came out with an update? I'm curious to look into that. I know Farmer Klein does a really nice job. If you haven't checked out his channel, he does a really nice job of tutorializing things very, very clearly and well. He's also in technology from what I can gather. You know, I've heard here and there, not a lot, but I've heard a little negativity about him just because I think sometimes he can come across being a little bit, I don't even know what the word is, because any word I pick is going to be too harsh. Abrasive or rude, but that's even too harsh. I just don't feel that way. And I think he's just, you know, just got a, you know, everybody's got different senses of humor and the way that they describe things and what they, and how they run their, you know, channels and whatnot. And I really enjoy his channel. In particular, I enjoy his tutorials and his mod reviews. I find them to be exceptionally thorough and generally extremely accurate. So if you haven't had a chance to check out Farmer Klein's channel, I would recommend it. I think you'd like it. But he discussed the updates of Hofbergman. I have not looked at those videos yet, but I plan on doing that. Hofbergman has been one of those maps that I've kind of wanted to play since it originally came out or was re-released again. I just haven't. It is highly. I'm just gonna do this number, the Zamboni style. It is. It's got a lot of features to it, and what is it? Farmer Andy, who is the modder for that, just does some amazing work. So I wouldn't mind digging into that one. I think I might be saving that one for a little later when Farming Simulator, you know, starts to get a little long in the tooth for version 22. But yeah, if you haven't had a chance to check out Hofbergman, I would recommend it. Maybe it's not your style map, but it's at least an interesting map to check out and see all the things Farmer Andy has done, the unique stuff Farmer Andy has done in there. In fact, those ducks that are on Old Family Farm are from Hofbergman. Of course, I didn't do that. Somebody with a little more knowledge on how to edit map i3D files and stuff and do that kind of thing did it for me, a friend of the channel. But I hope everybody is technology sound and having a good weekend. I feel like my head is like I've been running 100 miles an hour this weekend in one chair in front of a computer. And I don't know if you're anything like me, but it's tough going to sleep at night when your brain is just going 100 miles an hour about a problem you're having. I'm just glad that it was fallback. I actually, for once, am thankful for the time change dealio. I am kind of in favor of that going away. I don't know if it ever will, but I wouldn't mind seeing it go bye-bye. But it is nice, though, to have that extra hour of sleep. There's no doubt about it. And I function. This is going to sound kind of weird, and I don't know how you all do with this, but I function better when we fall back time. Like, it seems like I get up better in the morning. It just seems like a better time. I don't want to say time zone because it's not a time zone, but you know what I'm saying? It just seems like a better time shift. And then when we spring ahead, yeah, it just seems like I just am overall function better with the fallback time. That's weird though, right? Don't miss a bunch of grass there, Brad. Stay on the point. Stay on point, buddy. So I figured we'd knock this out. It's another 15 grand. We're using our own equipment. You know, kind of wanted to, if I was going to take this contract, try and use everything that we have. I actually was tempted to pick up a bale loader, like an auto, not like auto load bale loader, but a auto stacker, you know, maybe lease one, and maybe eventually we'll actually buy one. But I decided just to stay the course, and I brought over the old wheel loader. Pardon me for a second. It's one of those things that I constantly forget. Front loader. See, and I think, yeah, it's a front loader, but then I think, well, front loaders are also what we use on the front of a tractor. Man, I have a hard time with that front loader, wheel loader thing. I don't have a problem with skid steer and what's the other one? Maybe I do have a problem with them. I don't know. You would think after this much time playing the game, I'd probably have a better handle on some of this stuff. Ay, ay, ay. And then I'm planning for Throwback Thursday this Thursday. I need to hop on Old Family Farm and take a look there and see how things are going there and what we're going to be doing on that. And I enjoy this. I do. I love the game. I enjoy the YouTube part of it. It's work though. It's more work than I thought it would be at times. And I say work in the loose sense of the word. Like, it's not like work like going to work every day. It's not like, you know what I'm saying, or work like digging ditches. It's time consuming. That's the better way to put it. It's time consuming. And I definitely have a lot more respect. I'm glad I did it, if nothing else, for the fact that I just have a lot more respect for YouTubers who post regularly and create content regularly. Just how much work it truly is. Another channel that I really enjoy watching is Jeff Favignano. He will occasionally throw some farming simulator out there, but usually that's when on first release or early release. But he's a big simulator playing guy as well. Does a lot of GTA stuff, which is a lot of fun to watch, and sim racing and things like that. But if you enjoy that, a good channel that is into simulators, wow, I took that corner wrong. Check out Jeff Favignano. He's been around for a long time. I've been subscribed to his channel since the early days, and he's just a good guy. It's a clean channel in general. You don't have to worry about, I mean, occasionally, yeah, you're going to hear some swearing, but there's no offensive, you know, talk that you would really have to concern yourself with having kids around or something like that. I kind of like actually doing this widespread mowing because you don't have to, it fits my style perfectly because you don't have to be careful about creating pretty rows like you do with swath mowing. So this kind of fits my style because I'm not a very careful person, it appears, when I'm doing this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's time consuming making YouTube stuff, and I didn't realize how time consuming it is, you know. And I look at some of these full-time YouTubers and I think, really, you do this full-time? What do you do the other 20 hours of your day? And I realize now that depending on the kind of content and stuff, you know, it's quite time consuming. I mean, even for me and my little channel and what I do, which is not a lot of editing. I don't do a lot of video editing. I only do it if I have to, or if there's something that I kind of want to correct, or, you know, add some text or whatnot. I use Premiere Elements. Adobe Premiere Elements for video. I use Photoshop Elements for my thumbnails and stuff. Really nice packages, actually. They're quite simple to use. I think that was a good investment. Of course, they just released the 2023 versions of both of those, so thank you, Adobe, for that. Doesn't look like there's enough there for me to upgrade right now. I'll just wait till I find a really good deal on it. If you can get yourself a student or teacher discount on that software, it is exceptionally cheap, and I would highly recommend looking into that. So if you are a student, an online student, if you're a teacher, Adobe really drops the price on those things. In fact, I think it's less than half, if I remember looking correctly. You do need to look and see how you prove. You have to have proof for that you're a student or a teacher. But so I'm glad Adobe does that. I think companies that are in that situation where maybe it is something, especially for students and teachers, they can use. I would say even especially for teachers. I've had a couple teachers in the family. My sister and my brother have both been in the schools teaching, and I can tell you that is a labor of love, because it is definitely not a labor of money. And it's sad to say that these teachers oftentimes have to forfeit money out of their own pockets to do things for their class that you know, for the benefit of the kids. But hey, that's a subject maybe for another time and another place. But and there's good and bad teachers. There's good and bad everything, you know. But the good teachers are special and important. I had a couple really good teachers when I was going through school, and I will always be grateful for. I will always be grateful to them for having taken the extra time to help me out and stuff, you know. Man, geometry was not my forte. Hey, let's fire up this little guy. Let's take a listen to him. Sounds like a Toyota fired up. Very nice. Nice. I like this little tractor. It's a little sporty. It's got a nice look to it. I like it very much. Oh, I see Fred didn't add GPS on there for me. Thanks, Fred, for that. Appreciate it. Let's unfold our tether. And I think we have enough time to maybe get this field tethered up, or at least close to it. Let me get lined up a little bit better with it. Fire it up. Let's get to tedding. One thing I do notice that I kind of look for now more than I used to when buying these tractors and stuff and setting them up is I like the CVT, I think they are, transmissions. You get into these tractors that are like manual shift only, and unless you're doing manual shifting, they can be a little clunky, especially, you know, reversing and stuff like that. I've noticed. Not my favorite thing, but this little guy's doing pretty good though. He's a manual. I was doing manual shifting for, oh, I don't know. I guess I probably stuck with manual shifting for a few hours of the game when it first came out. And I enjoyed it, but it just got to be more of a, okay, whoa, what's going on there? What's going on, little guy? Why are you skipping around on me? I've even got front weights on this thing. What's he doing? He's kind of getting squirrely on me. But yeah, I enjoyed it for a while. It was kind of a novelty. And then I decided, well, I guess maybe I've had enough of the gear shifts. And actually, I've got my, if I again get my side panel set up, I've got it so that you can kind of run through the gears. Even if you are set up to do automatic, you can still kind of force gears a little bit, which I kind of like. But this little guy's doing a good job. You're doing a good job, little buddy. Doing a good job. I like this little M5. I don't think you can get a front. See, he's kind of oh yeah, see that? What's going on there? I wonder if this thing is just a little too much for him. Horsepower wise though, we're supposed to be in good shape. I'm pretty sure. Something's weird. Something's sticking. Something's kind of sticking a bit. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's my my wheel setup. I think it's this little guy. It seems like when we turn corners, the tether doesn't want to straighten out. I've got that front weight on him because I thought that would be helpful. At least give him a little bit of an advantage. Maybe I'll... Wow, yeah, he's... You know what I'm wondering? Okay, I was wondering if if this tether is adjustable angle-wise with the mouse. I don't think it is, though. Let me turn off... Open hub with mouse. Let me deactivate that here real quick. Yeah, there's no... Doesn't look like there's any kind of a mouse control on this tether. You know how some things you can mouse control. I think I'm going to maybe switch tractors and see if it continues. This thing might just be a little too lightweight for this. Let's do that. Let's fold this thing up. Let's take a quick peek at our tether and see what the horsepower requirements are for it. I don't think they're much. 80 horsepower requirement. And our little M5 is 106. So horsepower wise, it's in pretty good shape. But let's try a little beefier tractor and just see if it pulls it a little bit nicer. Sorry, little guy, I'm not giving up on you yet. You're still my buddy. Yeah, let's just step up to the M6. We'll step up here and see, get stepped up in here and see, for you Rick and Morty fans. Let's get stepped up in here and see if we can get this thing working a little bit nicer. It does fine on straightaways, but when I turn it, man, that's good looking model, isn't it? Man, Giants does such a nice job with their stuff. All right, let's see how this thing does. Let's see how this does in comparison to our little M5. I think if I pretty much stay close to this center swath here, it lines up pretty well with the mower. Maybe stay just a tad to the right of that center swath and we're in pretty good shape. Still messing around a little bit with the graphics on Farming Simulator. I will say that after my reinstall of Windows, I do think the game is playing a little smoother. Why did you do that, Brad? You know what we're gonna do? I just negated my test by lifting that up. Let's just do a nice turn here. See if it straightens it out. Yeah, I think that little guy just doesn't have the weight behind it to tow this tether, even though the horsepower's okay. It just doesn't have it. And I don't think the M5 has a lot of tire options either, and I don't know if wider tires would make much of a difference or not. There's been some tests done, I know, on YouTube to see if tires make a difference in the game. And, you know, I watched these tests, and although some of them were done reasonably well, to me they were pretty inconclusive, or they fell either on the inconclusive side or on the random side. Like, I don't think tires make as much of a difference in Farming Simulator as they probably should. Now there's that real mods that are out there, you know, the real, isn't there like a real implements mod and a real traction mod or something like that? I think for PC only. Sorry, console players. I have actually not tried those out. And maybe those would add some more realness. Is that the word? Add a little bit more realistic physics to how tractors pull to the game. But once again, you know, it's one of those things where I love the idea of more realism when it comes to mud and dirt and things like that. But, you know, we'd probably have to take the good with the bad there and unstick our tractors, get our tractors on, you know, winched out from mud a lot more than anything, which I don't think would add a lot of fun to the game if you're spending a lot of time pulling your tractor out of mud and stuff. Maybe something you can enable and disable, you know. Well, I think we are getting close to this thing's doing a nice job. I think we're getting close to the end of this episode. I am going to wrap things up. I'm going to go ahead and get the tedding finished up and get that out of the way, and then we'll come back and pick up where we left off. And I do appreciate y'all checking out the channel. Please leave a like if you would, if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like. And make sure and take care of yourselves. Take care of each other for sure. And I will see you back here on East Vineland Tuesday. Take care, everyone.